What is going on, guys? It's Rick with Rick's Toy Room, and I promised you a live video today. Unfortunately, I've just been really struggling with some stuff I was doing with the 3D printer, as well as some other stuff today, so I did not get a chance really to promote and let everyone know when we're going to do that. So instead, I'm just going to do a recording. We will do a live video sometime next week for the Hot Wheels display giveaway. I promise we're going to do that. But for now, I also did promise you that I was going to go find some stuff and show you some other cool 3D projects, as well as any Hot Wheel finds I found today, or this weekend. And sure enough, I did have a Hot Wheel find. Now, nothing super spectacular. A lot of repaints, though. So, trying to find the the Dollar Tree exclusives. I did not find any, but again, I did find some repaints. So, let's start with the number 6, the Custom Auto. It is in a teal and a white. This was part of the Netflix Let's Race series. At first, I almost thought it was a hunt, just looking at the rims on it, and because I didn't see this color scheme before. But nope, just a repaint. But still pretty cool. The number 1 for the 2024 was the Mazda AutoZam Hot Wheels Legends Tour. Really looked that really weird white looking car with the big wheels, kind of looked like a or Space Rover. They did it in a steel blue. So I picked that up because at first I saw it, and again I was like, what the? This year apparently is going to be the killer year for repaints. I'm going to leave that one for last for a second. Next was the Audi R5 e-tron GT. They did this in this really pukey olive green. On a Jeep Wrangler, on a Humvee, I could probably get away with that. On this Audi, that looks terrible. And then I don't think this is a repaint, or is it? I'll have to look. I just know that I don't think I had this one, or at least if I did, I don't have it in this color. But the Pterotractyl. It is another one of the Netflix Let's Race. It's got like this really wild 80s dark yet, contrasting kind of neon yet like pastel colors. I mean, everything about this yells 80s or even 90s. You remember that white cup that no one knows how it ever came to be? That design's got like, it was kind of like those like stripes and waves. There's the white, the blue, the teal, the pink. That's what this reminds me of. This reminds me of that cup. Okay, and then this one, I got super stoked about seeing it. Now, this is a sort of a repaint. They took the double-decker UK bus, which I was a huge fan of, bought as many of those as I could find, and they called this the treble-decker. They gave it a little tail wing there. They painted it a red and a tan. It kind of got like this black eye type thing in the front. Like, this amalgamation is just crazy to me. I thought it was super cool, though. I'm really digging it. I am going to probably buy a few more of these. It's also part of the Netflix Let's Race. I don't know. I just think it's really cool. For whatever reason, this design just, it's cool to me. Okay, so what else did we do this weekend? Well, told you we were going to work on some 3D prints. And yes, that is cotton candy flavored Faygo. Local stores down here have gotten their hands on some cans of Faygo. I bought an entire case of grape the other day because grape Faygo is my favorite. Another case of orange, a couple cans of the cotton candy. As long as they're going to keep getting Faygo in, I'm going to keep buying it. I'm from Detroit. You know me. We got to do my Faygo. Okay, not what I want to talk about. So, I showed you the Hot Wheel display. I also told you that the 6-car tray does not print on my printer. I've got the, I got a brain fart is what I've got. No, the Flash Fusion A5 Adventure model. And that has a bed of 220 by 220, and then it has a depth of 220. Not a small bed, just not big. It's not a bamboo. It doesn't have the 300 by 300. But I can't print certain models right now. Well, the Hot Wheels display was one of them. So I have spent the good portion of Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and into Sunday morning playing with that model. So first, I finally figured out how I could cut models. So I cut it. The problem is with the way the design was, I couldn't cut one of the cars off of the 6-car tray and make it even, because the way the posts were set, they were set between 2 cars. That means I had to redo the post. Okay, so I played with it, could not get the I couldn't get the thing to really even out. And when you import an STL, if you don't have the model or the object file, it's very difficult on all the free software that's out there right now to modify an existing mesh view STL file. So I did something a little different. What I did was, if I couldn't get it to be done for free and I didn't want to pay for it, well, I got a 3D printer and I have modeling software. We're just going to remodel it. So what I did was I took the original designer's stands, which are these things here, okay? And I went ahead and printed some more of them. Then I took and I printed my cut-up version of the 5-car tray. So now there's only 5. You can only do 5 cars here. It's F6, so it will print on my printer. By doing so, though, it spaced the legs out, spaced the stand out, and I wasn't able to use the Hot Wheel logo, the logo pane, whatever you want to call this, the token. I wasn't able to use the token to fit on this because now the stands were farther apart than the post holes on the token. So I was like, well, if I've got to rebuild one, I want to build a cooler one. And I say it's cooler because you guys should also know what I have of my sets of fandoms. So I did. And I spent a lot of time doing this. And I'll explain why here in a minute. But yes, I made a Batman-themed Hot Wheel display. So we replaced the Hot Wheel token with a Bat logo. I changed the colors of the trays from red to black. I made the stands bright yellow. And I filled it with a small collection of my loose Batmobiles. Now, what all did that take? Well, I just told you I've got the Fusion. I don't have Flash Forge, not Fusion, Flash Forge. I have a Flash Forge, and a Flash Forge is one color printer at a time. Now, there are some tricks you can use. If you use certain slicing software, you can tell it to stop at a certain layer, print a new color. Well, the problem with that is when you're doing something that definitely has 2 colors in a center, you can't necessarily stop it, print a layer or 2 of one color, and then start back up with the other color, because what will happen is it will run that color in the layer, especially when you're building from down up, it would run that color in the middle, and this will look goofy as all get out. But what you can do is you can start cutting your model into lots of multiple pieces, print each one individually, set some offset sizes, and inlay them. And that is exactly what I did. So I spent probably a good couple hours sketching out the Batman logo, rendering the base plate, all black parts, rendering the yellow inlay, and then having to cut out the stand post, the post holes in the back. Now that's where I ran into some of my bigger problems. My my caliper apparently isn't exactly the most accurate. I had my measurements off a lot. So I had to redo that particular base plate a lot. The inlay actually was kind of one and done. I got that measurement done really, really well. I definitely learned a lot about when I built the Lego Stormtrooper, about offsets and snap fit tight connections and all the things. So after a lot of trial and error, I have a fully functional, completely reproducible Batman project that I can open up, hit some buttons, and this thing will kick out, and I can just start puking out the Batmans. So what else does that mean? Well, that means we're also going to puke out Jeep, Cobra. We're going to print out maybe some Chevy, maybe some Ford, Mustang, Chevy, Cobra. I don't know. We're going to do lots of cool things. So I am going to, obviously, once I want to get a handful more of these done before I post them. I'm going to put them up on a few of the 3D modeling boards. Obviously, complete shout out and a splinter project from the original developer. I got to find the document because he put his name in it. I want to give him a shout out for doing the trays, for doing the legs, for doing the original work that I was able to then use to expand upon and replicate. So huge shout out to that guy. I will get his name by the time this video is done. Put it in the description when I get this thing posted to YouTube tonight. So I wanted to shout out to that guy and just tell him thank you. Just wish you'd have made it for a 220 by 220 printer, man. You could have saved me a lot of time. Okay, so we did that project. Then I told you guys we're going to go out to do another project. And, well, I finally got that done. That's why this video is coming out so late tonight. But deck boxes. So using original, authentic Disney VHS tape cases. These have the inlets where they're all cut out, where you put the VHS tape in. Somebody went through and modeled some deck boxes to put your Magic or your Lorcana, put your decks in here, put your dice, your tokens, whatever you want. I thought this was a cool idea. Now, it's kind of, hipsterish. It's kind of, upcycling, whatever you want to call it. And I just happen to have piles of Lorcana just sitting here in my desk drawer. But it is flipping cool. I think the idea, just again, and it's not a new idea. I mean, people have been making deck boxes and stuff like that for Magic the Gathering for long time. But to think about it, to make a deck box for Lorcana, then to make it in a VHS tape size, and then to actually go and upcycle the VHS tape cases. Just a stupid, cool, neat idea. I absolutely wanted to build it. So I decided to hit all the thrift stores to buy these cases, or try to find cases that were worth it. Now, and I will tell you something. Even though these are pretty thick plastic, these things get destroyed. I can't tell you how many boxes of VHS tapes, Disney VHS tapes, non-Disney VHS tapes that I went through at the 2 thrift stores, or antique malls, indoor flea markets, whatever you want to call them. The 2 places I went to here locally before I could find a handful that were in good enough shape that I could clean up, print deck boxes in, put them inside, and basically resell them, right? So, and what's even funnier is you go to a place like any of these antique mall, indoor flea markets, and they are, for lack of better terms, cheap. They just are. But you get on Facebook Marketplace, and everyone thinks that the Disney movies are going to be gold. Obviously, in Florida, we have a lot of Disney fanatics out here. They're charging $5, $10 just for the case of the movie. Like, bro, I'm sorry, but no. Especially the fact that I'm not keeping the movies. So I bought as many as I get my hands on. And it was really funny. Quick side story. I walked into one of these antique malls. I found just a buttload of actually really good ones. And then a few that weren't Disney, but I could reuse the case, right? So I bought a couple of crappy Disney cases because I wanted the slipcovers. Because they were characters that are in Lorcana, surprisingly enough. And then I was like, okay, I'll just buy good cases of non-Disney movies that are the same size, and I'll just switch the slipcovers, and I still have a really good deck box, And I pick up a stack, and one just happens to be Snow White, and it was empty. And I'm like, cool, don't care, didn't want the movie anyhow. So I get the pile, and I mean, I've got, I think I ended up with about 19 of these cases, various conditions. So I get up to the register, the lady's going through, she's ringing them up, and she's like, oh, wow, you're a Disney collector, huh? And I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, but that's not what I'm buying these for. Oh, okay. She keeps trying to make small talk, and I'm like, I'm doing a special project, like I just need the cases, whatever. So, oh, okay. And then she just kind of asked me about it, and she's an old lady running an antique mall. She is not going to have any clue about what I tell her when I start saying I'm going to 3D print deck boxes and use these for, like, it would have, so I was just like, yeah, cool little project. I got a cool little project. I'll, whatever. She gets to Snow White. She goes, it's empty. I guess I'm like, throw it in the bag. Ring it the fuck up. Throw it in the bag. Like, I just told you I need the boxes for a project. I don't need the movies. I needed the box. That's in a good it's a good shape, by the way. I want the box. So she's just looking at me, and I mean, she's just looking at me like I'm speaking Korean, right? Like she has no idea why I'm willing to buy and give money for an empty VHS case box. And I'm just like, your job is to ring it up and put it in the bag. But neither here nor there. That was a little cranky. But, yeah, so I had a really good time actually digging through all the boxes, finding VHS tapes, and of course I found tons of stuff that I was like, ooh, right? But I'm like, don't spend the money. And then I saw some really iffy things, but that's a whole nother video. Needless to say, I want to say 10 good VHS boxes with Disney slip cases, varying from Snow White to Fantasia, Jungle Book, Little Mermaid 2, Pocahontas. I don't know. I got a bunch of them. Anyhow, all animated, all very Lorcana-ish. The deck boxes, there's another one that I've got that I can print that instead of having the cutouts where you can get your thumb in here to pull out the cards and a dice tray, it's got a more angled dice tray. I don't know if I'm going to print that one. I think it might be a little bit harder to get to the cards. You know, this was quite simple to just dig into and get the cards out of. Something got stuck in my print. But the trays can match I only have a handful of colors right now, but I can make the trays in a silk blue, a silk red, a white, a black, the titanium, which is like that multicolor green, purple, black. I'm going to burn the marble tonight because I'm going to try to redo that Superman. And then, so yellow, silk blue, silk red, black, white, titanium. Oh, and a bright green. So if you guys want one of these, let me know. The printed deck box plus a case, I'm going to do for $10 plus shipping anywhere in the continental US. So if you're interested in one, let me know. If you want just a deck box, let me know. I'll get you a decent deal on that. Probably like $6 plus shipping on the deck box. Maybe $7. Probably $7 on the deck box alone. $10 with a case until I run out of the cases and I got to find more. And I'll just keep printing deck boxes. Hot Wheels displays. So again, right now, I've got the Batman ready to rock and roll. Batman's, again, let's say, it's 2 color prints in that. $11 for a Hot Wheels display with a Batman logo. Shipped anywhere in the continental U.S. Well, plus shipping anywhere in the continental U.S. I'm gonna redo the Hot Wheel logo so it matches the 5 shelf spacing. So I've got a Jeep one coming up. I just got a particular Jeep logo a friend just sent me, so I'm gonna cut out a Jeep logo, do a Jeep one this week. I intend to do Jeep, Ford, Chevy, Shelby Cobra, Jurassic Park. There's enough Jurassic Park Matchbox. We'll do a Matchbox. Why not? Let's do a Matchbox logo. So yeah, I have tons. If there's a particular logo of a car brand or type that you collect and you want the logo, you want the car emblem done for your display case, let me know. Give me a couple days to model it. I'll get it ready, and then I can crank out a display for you. So let me know if you want one of those. Or if you've got your own 3D printer and you want the STLs of the ones that I complete, let me know. I will get you the STLs. We'll make a deal on those. And then what else are we printing? So we have Hot Wheel displays. We have deck boxes. We have oh, I failed at a couple of these logos because I misspaced the post holders. So I've turned them into magnets. So if you'd like a Batman magnet or maybe a Hot Wheel magnet or Matchbox, whatever, I can 3D print you a pretty big one. They are 6 inches, and that's a real 6 inches, not a woman's 6 inches. Anyhow, and I say women because, guys, we know how to measure, right? Anyhow, so logos are 6 inches wide by whatever it comes out to be to appropriately scale it so that it looks good, not screwed up. I'll do those magnets for, I don't know, $3, $4. It'll have a it'll have a glued magnet on the back, goes on your fridge, goes on your car. So if you want to do those, you can do those. Lastly, we're going to do a bunch of functional items before we get back into my original idea of some cosplay prints. I found and downloaded a bunch of files for Xbox controller cases. So you want to change the faceplate on your Xbox controller. I've got the files for those. I'm going to build probably one or two for myself. PlayStation 5, I've got those. Like wall mountable hangers for controllers, controller stands. I have a bunch of STL files that I'm going to do for Nintendo Switch game holders. Everything from miniature NES tapes that your Switch game will stick into to Mario Question Block that all your Switch games will go into. Pokeballs that your Switch games can go into. Cool wall displays for old NES, Nintendo DS, etc. Stands for PS5, Xbox games, Switch games. So these items, I'm going to print a few for me because I could really use them, but I just think they're functional prints. Like, I love printing the giant Lego Stormtrooper, and I'm going to have a kick of a time doing Superman and getting one in a nice, thin print quality that looks really decent. I'm doing those, but those are like, yeah, I could sell them if somebody wants a jumbo Lego Stormtrooper. Let me know. I will print you one in whatever couple colors you want. If you want, the Superman bust or Batman bust, cool, I can do that. But I want to do some things that have some actual functionality, some use, some stuff that's more custom and more whatever. Light switch covers. I saw a cool one that had like the Nintendo logo. You put the little light switch in front of it. I'm going to do one with my Rick's Toy Room logo. I'm going to have to model it myself because the switch covers on most of the houses here in Florida are those flat square switches. They're not the little like trigger type. So those are the things that I'm coming up with. If you guys get online, you're like, hey, this would be a really cool 3D print to have, and you want somebody to help you out and print one for you, you don't know somebody that'll do it, let me know. We can either choose from a color that I got. You can pay for the color and I won't charge you for the print, or you can pay me for the print and I'll buy the color. I don't care. We'll figure something out. But you're going to see a lot more 3D stuff coming out of me. Like I said, a lot of functional things for toys, toy display, nerdum. I've got some really cool Funko displays I want to do, and then I've been thinking about how else I could like really tweak the Funko displays. So I want to do those. And then, like I said, I'll keep you posted on more Hot Wheels. If I see the Dollar Tree exclusives drop, I will let you know. My store recently got an e-case plus these repaints. Kroger Mail Away is out, by the way, for those of you that haven't seen that yet. And obviously I haven't done a video. Normally I do. But the Kroger Mail Away is available. I will post a link in the description for that as well, so that if you've got a Kroger nearby, or if you want to buy some Hot Wheels from Kroger.com, you can get it on their mail away. So the second one's finally dropped. The next one, if we're going in order, should be Walmart. Walmart's normally number 3, and they do that with their Hot Wheels Legends Tour, which actually I think is coming up. The closest one to me is going to be Miami. I'm not going to Miami. So Legends Tour will be number 3. We should then drop back to, should go to Best Buy or Target. I think last year it was Dollar General, Kroger, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Kroger. I think it ended with Kroger. So, yeah, keep your ear to the ground on that because that's coming out. But I will shoot the links in here for the mail away for Kroger. I will keep you posted on everything else I'm doing. And then, like I said, just hit me up if you guys want something. DM me. Show me some cool 3D prints you've done or you've been wanting to do or that you saw or that you think would be a cool idea. And, hell, maybe I'll print a couple up and we'll post them on the channel and, share what everybody does. All right, guys, with that, deuces. I'm going to go finish my Faygo. I'm going to go find something to watch on TV, take a break from the screen for a little bit, and I'm going to start working on logos. All right, talk to you.